Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Russell Matthews here and I'm back with another Canadian benefit update for you. If you've been following this channel, there's a good chance that you know about all of the national benefits that everybody in Canada has been able to apply for. First we had the CERB, or the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit. Then we had the addition of the recovery benefits, that's the CRB, the CRSB, and the CRCB. And these are for absolutely everybody in Canada because they are a national benefit. But for those of you who watch my channel and live in British Columbia, you'll know that you've had access to a couple different other benefits. And now that BC's election is over, there could be an additional $1,000 going to everybody who qualifies for it in BC. And this is on top of the CERB and on top of the CRB. This is extra money that even if you qualify for these other government programs, you can get this as well. But wait, if you're not somebody who lives in BC, you might not want to click off of this video yet because we're going to be talking about how other provinces have handled their money and how they've been able to help out their residents and how it stacks up to BC's actually straight cash into the pocket strategy. I live in Ontario and I know that many people who live here haven't really been able to see too clearly what the province has been doing in terms of additional support for us. They have some sort of programs, but they are not really visible because it's not this, again, cash in pocket strategy. So today we're going to talk about the specific British Columbia benefit that was released a little while ago, as well as the new benefit that could be coming in the next few weeks here. And we're going to talk about how this compares to the other provinces and whether or not we think it's a good idea for them to implement something similar for its residents. But before we get too far into it, if you're new to the channel, hey, how's it going? It's nice to meet you. My name's Russell and on this channel I post updates about Canadians and their money. The overall goal is to give people as accurate information as quickly as possible so they can set themselves up to live a more financially stable future. Anytime there's an update or any information coming down the pipeline that could affect you and your family's money, you're going to find out about it here first. So if any of that interests you, or you just want to stay up to date about all the benefits coming down the pipeline from the Canadian governments, then you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And of course, while you're down there, hit that like button, turn it blue, because when you do, hundreds and hundreds of more people can see this video who could be desperately looking for this information. Thank you so much for doing that. Now let's take a look at these BC benefits from the past and the new ones that are coming in, and whether or not we think it's a good idea to bring this across the rest of the country. Alright, so if you're a resident of BC, you probably already know about this benefit, but for those of us who do not live in BC, it's good to get an understanding of what other provinces have done. So this is the first benefit that came in that was BC specific, and it was called the BC Emergency Benefit for Workers. Now, unlike the other benefits that we've gotten, the CERB, CRB, all of this is a $1,000 one-time benefit, and it's tax-free. That's a big deal because I'm sure all of you know that the benefits that you're getting, the national ones, those ones are all taxable, even including the CRB, which is withholding some tax. There will be additional tax. So it's kind of nice that they have this $1,000 tax-free version in BC so that people won't be paying back more money than they're expecting because of getting these benefits. To be eligible for this benefit, you had to have lost your employment or self-employment income after March 15th. You have to be eligible for the CRB for any payment period between these days, and you have not repaid nor are you required to repay all of the CRB benefits. So what this is saying is that you have to be eligible for CRB to get the money. So it's not one of those things where it cancels out like the CRB in CRB or CRSB where you can only be on one benefit. You're getting this in addition to that benefit. And down here, this is just like CRB, where it's giving you that $1,000 limit that you can make in the month and still collect it. So we're not going to go super into depth with all of this. I just wanted you to get an idea that this was out there for BC. And now we're going to take a look at the new benefit that's coming in just after this election for BC, and it's an additional $1,000, which is kind of unheard of in other provinces, at least Ontario. I will admit I'm definitely not an expert on each and every individual province's response to this, so I want you to keep me updated. If I haven't talked about your province, let me know what was special about your province in the way that they responded to these benefits and whether or not they handed you extra money or if they put it in more subtle things, kind of like Ontario did. I'd love to learn more about this, so educate me down in the comments down there. As part of his campaign for re-election in BC, John Horgan said that he'd bring an additional $1,000 to families who are heavily affected by COVID. So this would be like an extension to this benefit we just talked about. Here's a little bit more information about it.
Big bucks for British Columbians.
We're not just throwing money to try and buy votes. We're throwing money at people to stimulate economic activity.
Nowhere is more money being thrown around than a one-time $1.4 billion new COVID-19 recovery benefit. A family earning less than $125,000 a year will get $1,000. For income earners up to $175,000, the money's on a sliding scale. Similarly, while a single person earning less than $62,000 would get $500, the money would be on a sliding scale for singles making up to $87,000 a year.
I believe those are the people that are struggling right now. Those are the people that need to have those extra dollars to make sure that they can get by.
Okay, so let's scroll back to exactly how that works so we can take a closer look at that chart. So it says your family income has to be under $125,000 and you'll get $1,000 for that. So if you're a single person, you won't get the $1,000. I guess it's just $500 if it's just one person. But it is interesting that it's on a sliding scale, so people will get support relative to how much they make and how much they actually need that support. This is an interesting take compared to some of the other benefits, which are either yes or no, right? Like there's no wiggle room in the middle. CRB was a little bit better with that because you could earn over the cap and only pay back portions of your CRB. But I think that this is the approach that any future stimulus needs to be in.
To have those extra dollars to make sure that they can get by.
But there were questions about why this wasn't part of the government's pandemic recovery plan. The NDP insisting there was no money left in the $5 billion plan.
We did not contemplate this until we were putting together the platform, which was not until after the election was called.
It's just plain wrong. It's a naked attempt to bribe BC taxpayers with their own money.
The NDP costing out the platform, now projecting a $15 billion provincial deficit, up from a little less than $13 billion.
Okay, yeah, so it seems like there is a little bit of controversy around it. People are saying that, oh, this is just them buying votes, and I don't really know if that's the case or not. It could be, and it could just be something that they're trying to put in as their policy to help people. I mean, it's not far off from typical NDP policy. But regardless of where you stand on this issue, it seems like something that's interesting to think about and to see if other provinces could consider doing something similar. I'm fairly certain that in BC there was also a $500 per month renter's benefit that went out, so that's even more additional money for the people who are most affected, maybe renting out small places, and now their work is heavily affected because maybe they worked in retail or in the service industry and they can't work. So it seems like the BC government has really done a decent job at sending money to their residents. In Ontario, there wasn't as much of this going on. We saw some measures taken, like they froze evictions, and I'm pretty sure they did a reduction on the rates of electricity consumption, so you'd see a smaller electricity bill and potential other utilities would be cheaper. But none of the benefits were quite as direct as this, putting cash right into the pockets of people in Ontario. I'm really curious about what you think about this. First of all, I'm definitely not up to date with every single province, so I want you to let me know down below, what did your province do? Did you see packages like this BC idea where they're sending more money to Canadians directly? Or was your province more like Ontario where some of the benefits were less direct? Let me know down in the comments what your province did and whether you think it's a good idea for them to bring in something similar to this. It's interesting to see how different provinces choose to use their money to help their citizens. And while you're down there, make sure to hit the like button, because when you do, this information gets spread to more people who could be looking for it. And of course, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I'm constantly bringing updates just like this that could help you out and could get you thinking about what your government is or isn't doing. But with all of that said, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really hope this video has made you think a little bit, and I'll see you next time.